NBA videos. Let's cut to the chase. Today we're going to be taking a look at some pretty shocking footage that will most likely surprise you. Just some stuff that you wouldn't really expect to come out of these people's mouths, along with some videos that you might not have known even existed. So you probably should grab some snacks for this one. Enjoy the video. When it comes to clips like these,
if I had to pick one over the other, right now I'm picking LeBron James over Michael Jordan.
You think more talented than the Warriors?
Oh, no, Warriors are more talented across the board, but Cavaliers have LeBron James. He's the best there is.
Yeah. Do you think he's better than Jordan?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
it's not really anything astonishing at all. Of course these two guys are going to say that because they absolutely hated Michael Jordan's guts. But what was surprising was to hear a similar thing come out of his partner's mouth.
Michael Jordan is probably the greatest scorer to ever play in the game, but I may go as far as to say LeBron James may be the greatest player to ever play the game.
What? That's what he said. I know, that's what he said. Who has to go first? That is blasphemous.
That was a little unexpected to hear Scotty say that, and I wouldn't be surprised if MJ immediately got a hold of Pippen and forced him to backtrack his comments.
Hey, stop, Pippen!
But hold on, perhaps what Skip Bayless said was even more jaw-dropping. At this point, we've all come to kind of expect Skip to side with Jordan any chance he gets.
Can he, right now, at 52 years old,
Right here, right now.
beat LeBron one-on-one? I mean, and beyond, come on.
You know, Stephen,
Oh gosh, don't do this.
You know, he just might.
Don't do
He
this.
just might be able to.
But believe it or not, he admitted something that was finally somewhat objective for once.
LeBron James does have this going for him. He is a better all-around player than Michael, and he has more skills than Michael. I gotta get. I mean, come on.
We're running out of time, America. We're running
Better
out of
all-around
time.
player. No, he has more all-around skills than Michael had.
Man, I have to admit, I had to go wash my ears out after hearing that, because I wasn't sure what I just witnessed. Now, you could say that what he said was 100% true, but coming from Skip Bayless, who is the biggest LeBron hater on planet Earth, was a little weird. You'll probably never catch a statement like that coming out of his mouth nowadays. That might have been the one and only time he gave LeBron that much credit. Now, who knows if Gary Payton has the same amount of disdain for Jordan that Isaiah and Lambeer has, but right here, it definitely seemed like it. Or maybe he was just sick and tired of the same old answer that 99% of other players say, so he just wanted to give an original hot take.
You said that John Stockton was more difficult to defend than Michael Jordan. Blasphemy to me.
Yes, he was. You guys didn't play against ID. I'm Gary.
As you just heard, Gary Payton unapologetically said that John Stockton is a tougher guy to guard than Michael. You could tell that the rest of the crew had a difficult time accepting what he was saying. It was as if it was going against everything they believed in. Now sure, I was a little taken back at first as well, but when it comes down to it, he was the one who had the luxury of guarding these two legends. So what he says goes.
The truth is, Jordan finds the NBA's Defensive Player of the Year annoying. He views the sometimes brash youngster as impudent, and he would love to have a big game at his expense.
I'm sure the majority of us tend to find Charles Barkley pretty hilarious, but sometimes, in some people's mind, he tends to cross the line.
Why you never buy a woman a watch? Why you never buy a woman a watch? There's a clock on the stove.
One of his more funnier ongoing jokes has to do with the women in San Antonio.
Oh, I'm sure they do that right now. I bet you could do that to big ass women in San Antonio. Not even in San Antonio. I'm gonna big old women sucked all the hair out of the arena and advertise.
Time for Never Stop, Never Settle, presented by Hennessy. BS.
I think for the most part, we all know he's just joking around, but it looks like his humor has ruffled a few feathers. This guy seemed to take it to heart.
You have like that taste from that, like a big one, like. But you got it.
I got some people trying to film me and get in trouble. Could you come get rid of these?
I mean, I'm not in trouble.
James, get this mother.
Now, obviously, he's not a woman, so why is he getting so worked up about it? Well, if I had to guess, maybe he was watching Inside the NBA on TNT with perhaps his wife or even mother, and possibly one of them took it personal. I mean, what other explanation is there? Ron Artest has been known to do some pretty strange things in the past.
Oh, I'm so sorry to humiliate you on TV by pulling your shorts down. I won't do it again.
He's definitely cut from a different cloth, one of the most unique and unpredictable personalities the NBA has ever seen. So when he said this, who knows where his head was at?
No, I think they're doing a good job. Well coached. Well coached. Roy's probably the best player I've played against. To me, he's the best shooting guard.
Even Craig Sager wasn't sure if he heard him correctly, so he had to ask him again.
He's a better player than Kobe Bryant, better player than LeBron James.
He's the best player I've played against.
Are you saying that just because he's your opponent this series?
No, he said he is. He's the best player I've played against. Outside the guy from my hood in Queensbridge, and now it's Roy.
Now, don't get me wrong, Brandon Roy was a killer on the court, but that answer did make some headlines.
Ron Artest said you're better than Kobe. What do you say about that?
No, he didn't say I was better than Kobe. He said I was hardest player he's guarded. But
He's only got average score 40 on that, right?
yeah, so I mean, for me, that was a huge compliment. You gotta ask him what he meant by it.
Who knows if Artest was just trying to get a rise out of us. Either way, it was something different to hear.
What's it about Phoenix? You said the other day you don't like them. I don't like them. It's plain and simple. I do not like them. They still look pretty good. Just let us know about it. I will not forget that. Even though most of the guys in that team are, I don't care. I won't let it go.
Damn, why so much distaste for the Phoenix Suns? Well, let's see. First of all, Phoenix has knocked Kobe out of the playoffs on numerous occasions. Second of all, Steve Nash robbed an MVP that Bryant strongly believed belonged to him. And third, one of his most intense rivals was on that team for many years.
I have no respect for him. Why is that? Because I think he's a pompous, arrogant individual. I think a lot of people let him get away with things, and he feels like he's supposed to get away with them, and I don't agree with that.
Bell just caught her by the throat. Let's see if he's ejected. It is a flagrant. Shoot for Kobe, the ball out of bounds to the Lakers.
When we go out there, we play. When we play during the season, we play each other. That's it. I don't know this kid. I don't really know this kid. I know too. When we go out there, we play the game, and leave it at that. Maybe he wasn't ugly enough as a kid.
So now you probably understand why he still held a grudge after all that time. Once you get on his bad side, you're automatically dead to him. Robert Horry is known for having an impressive amount of championship rings in his collection, but it looks like it has gotten to his head just a little.
7 rings. Can we just loan him one?
This one. Yeah, no, you gotta earn it. Right. You did a lot of great things in NBA, but
All right, Robert's out of here.
Now, T-Mac says that it was just a joke, but judging from his response, I think he took it a little personal.
I can understand how people take things, but I say this: anybody can be a champion. Everybody can be a Hall of Famer.
Don't get me wrong, Horry was a great role player, but it seems like he has a false sense of importance just because he has 7 rings. And McGrady's right. Getting in the Hall of Fame is much more rewarding than winning championships where you just happen to come along for the ride. Horry even said that he will be remembered way more than some of the guys that are already in the Hall of Fame, but I don't know if I agree with him putting it like that. We all remember that famous shot that Kyrie hit back in 2016 on Christmas Day. Well, it looks like the Cavs fans were not the only ones who were thrilled about the result of that game. Westbrook was warming up for his Christmas Day game versus the Timberwolves, which was set to take place a couple hours after that Warriors game, and it appeared that Russ tuned into that game as well. Later, when Russ was asked about it, he had this to say.
What video? The video of you putting up a shot pregame. Ran off and yelled. I would never say no other man's name like that. Come on. Thank you, Kyrie. What do I look like, bro? I was talking to my trainer's daughter. His daughter's name is Jamie. Thank you, Jamie.
He could be telling the truth, but all I'm saying is that was interesting timing. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this collection of NBA clips that I gathered up for you guys. I tried to come up with some rare ones that you might have never seen before. Make sure to comment down below if you find these kind of videos interesting. And of course, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.